All right. It's your boy Trey with Let's Just Talk Trey with Let's Just Talk Books, man. We are gonna read um some of this book called Run. It's the first book of a series. Um, but it's called Run, and I'm just gonna read a little bit of that to y'all on TikTok. So follow along if you can, man, and if you gotta go to sleep, then go to sleep. But here we go. The night passes him by, when the sky ahead of Reed lightens yet again. He is surprised to find he is still alive, surprised and very grateful. He has no idea why the hunter didn't catch up to him in the dark, but he'll take the time he's been given. In the meantime, he struggles with accepting what he saw. His logical mind and his emotions fight for control, arguing constantly between what is real or what can't possibly be true. But he knows what he witnessed, can see the creature's hands, the pointed teeth, the eerie eyes, all of that added to the way the thing moved, and Reed finds it hard to deny. Whatever the hunters are, they can't be human, at least not completely, if they ever were in the first place. But none of it makes sense. Are they an experiment gone wrong? Some mad scientist's private army of soldiers bent on world domination? It seems so ridiculous. He rolls his eyes at himself. This isn't some bad TV show or a B movie at 2 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Besides, he's pretty sure there's more to it than anything he could ever imagine. Not that what he thinks matters, considering the circumstances. He's done deceiving himself, though, through lying in the face of perceived reality. This enclosure, the fence, the kidnapping, all of it leads to one thing and one thing only. He and the other kids he's encountered are nothing more than target practice. Reed knows it's irrelevant who is responsible, but he longs to find out, just so he has someone to blame. It's too hard to pin it on the hunters because he is so afraid of them. Mustering anger toward them is just too hard to sustain. Waffles back and forth between Lucy and her boss, Mr. Syracuse, but it's really difficult to stay mad at his sister when he knows she is as much as a victim as he is, and in as much trouble, if not more. He has no face to give her mysterious benefactor, so his imagination musters a cartoon-like character too ridiculous to focus his rage on either. Reed rolls all of this around in his head as the morning light briefly cheers him. Only then does he notice the terrain has changed. His calves have ached for so long he didn't notice the incline until he is able to see it. The ground is rocky as well, more like the edge of the ravine where he left the fence the night before last. Reed turns and looks back the way he came, worried he has somehow gotten spun around, but corrects himself. Since he turned from the electric barrier, he has been moving east all along, unless whoever dumped him here also managed to change the path of the sun. Honestly, if someone told him at that moment he wasn't even on Earth anymore, he wouldn't question it. Everything around him is just too surreal. There's a small break in the trees ahead, and he peeks out to have a look before risking exposing himself. Wondering if he survives this, will he ever feel completely safe in the open ever again? He doubts it very much. He doubts it very much. Reed finally sees where he's going. His breath catches. Ahead is a low peak covered in soft wood trees, but almost mountainous, rolling away into the distance. To his right runs a valley with a river running through it, looking like a silver of blue and silver, sparkling at him, instantly triggering his thirst. To the left are more trees and a continued incline. Reed steps back into the shadow of a clump of spruce and does some thinking. So much for some alien planet. This just looks too much like a place he's been before. He's known since the first night he can't be in his native Arizona any longer, not with the forest he's been running through. But the scene ahead looks achingly familiar and he doesn't want to believe it. It can't be possible. He's this far from home. Just the idea of it makes this immeasurably worse, even though he can't explain to himself why. His father took him camping in New Hampshire once when he was 10. It looked the same as his surroundings now. His mind flashes to cool nights, a well-kept campfire, his father smiling at him, flames reflected on his sea green eyes. the exact shade of Reed's hand. Of Reed, and on his dark hair, Reed also inherited. His father used to joke they were peas in a pod, and Reed loved that, especially when they camped in the forest, only sleeping bag and what they could carry to sustain them. His father never believed in tents, instead insisting Reed learn how to make his own shelter. He's very grateful, even though he hasn't had much of a chance to take advantage of all those lessons. He's been too busy running. The trouble is, if their surroundings are the ones Reed recognizes, that means he is thousands of miles away from home. He finally realizes why it bothers him so much. Reed holds all of his memories of his dead father dear to him, and having this place, the same kind of place, taking over his treasured time with his dad, does strange and terrible things to his already aching heart. He could be wrong. There are forests everywhere. Oregon, for example, California, equally as far remote, Alaska, or even Canada. But he knows in his bones he is right. Reed shudders. The compound is somewhere in the northeastern U.S. It's June. That makes sense. It is warm enough during the day and not too cold at night, although he hasn't really started moving, so he sort of ignored the temperature so far. But the longer he is here, the worse conditions could get. He may be forced to hide during the day if the temperature gets too hot. He's been lucky so far when it comes to insects and wonders where the black flies and mosquitoes are. Constant companions the last time. He stayed overnight in the woods. Not that he's complaining or anything. Being a snack for ravenous bloodsuckers while running from the hunters would just add another level of hell to his situation. But it also reminds him just how controlled this whole thing feels. Reed glances up at the clear blue sky and wonders how long the weather could hold. Rain would also make his life more miserable than it already is. Although he takes it as a good sign, he's even thinking about his surroundings and not totally focused on just putting one foot in front of the other. He considers the food as he has left, wondering if he should ration it further before shrugging it to himself. An hour later, he needs the energy. He polishes off the last power bar and the final swish from the water bottle. The wrapper he hides under a rock, but the empty plastic container he tucks into one of his pockets. The river he spotted below is probably fed by the stream he encountered, and that means fresh water. He would need a container to store some just in case the hunters chased him off for the second time. His thirst demands he find a way to never go without again. All right, guys, that was your boy Trey with Run, a book series, man. And until next time, peace.